Welcome back. State officials are vowing to fight back against one of President Trump's latest executive orders, a sweeping overhaul of voting rules. The order would require Americans to prove their citizenship when they register to vote, which could be tricky for people without passports. About half of Americans don't have passports. Joining us now is Colorado's Democratic Secretary of State, Jena Griswold. Secretary, thank you for coming on with us. You've called this executive order unlawful. Explain why.
Well, good morning. Thank you for having me on. I call it likely unlawful because President Trump is trying to grab power that he does not have. Look, a president can't just grab power from Congress and dictate the national law of the land. That's not how this country works. And one of the requirements in the executive order is to change the national voter registration form to require proof or evidence of citizenship. Now, as you mentioned, this would potentially disenfranchise millions of people all across the nation and disproportionately affect women, people of color, and blue-collar Americans.
Explain why that would disproportionately affect those particular groups, because they don't have passports, they can't afford passports. Are there other IDs that could be used to prove citizenship?
Well, part of the issue with the executive order is it is not totally clear. The executive order says that if someone has a real ID that shows citizenship, they could use that. Most real IDs, many real IDs actually do not show citizenship. That we're talking about your driver's license. So it heavily relies on passports. And frankly, passports are expensive. They're like $160+ Many people do not have them. And people of color don't have them at a higher rate than the average American. And then on top of that, women who get married, well, then they have to jump through an additional hoop if they change their last names. Yep. So let's be very clear. Trump and MAGA Republicans have been focused for years on disenfranchising Americans all across the country, and this is a perpetuation of that.
What are you going to do about it? Is Colorado planning to sue?
Well, we're in conversations, but I do think we'll see litigation. There is a lot in this executive order, and like I mentioned, a lot is unclear. And ultimately, states need to be able to run elections coming up here very soon. Another provision in the order says that states that receive ballots after Election Day cannot count them. Again, this is potentially Donald Trump trying to grab power from Congress and dictating what federal law is. That's not how this country works. But that would be a huge impediment to many states across the country because that's how they run elections right now.
Colorado Secretary of State Jena Griswold, got to leave it there for today. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it.